Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here in Lisbon again and giving us this interview. Uh, I'm going to start with Chris because I have a thing to ask him. More scars?
No, I'm still working on the same few that I have. No new scars.
No new scars?
Not yet. No. Maybe this tour. I'll work on it.
Because there's a heavy bass there.
Yeah.
Still going on, still like beating yourself in your own game?
Yeah. Yeah. I figured out how to play it a little bit better, and it doesn't hit me in the face anymore.
Yeah. The new album you released in last year, Strange Piece. First of all, let's just get it out of the way. Why did you call it Strange Piece? And I have my theory, but I would love to hear yours, and maybe we can.
Your theory.
Oh, I think it's kind of like it's a combination of all the music but also all the state of things and the state of the world. It's obviously a weird kind of piece. Not. I even go further. It's kind of like an obscene kind of piece. It's just totally blocks. But is that the thing?
That was the thing, yeah. I think it was like that eerie feeling before the rain comes or whatever. That feeling of... it was all happening right around the time Trump was kind of ascending. He was getting a lot of momentum, and it's just the weirdest and most off-putting feeling. And it was sort of that idea, like, oh my God, what's about to happen? Something bad is about to happen, and so it's kind of that calm before the storm idea. Yeah.
We're not optimistic right until the end.
I'm a pessimist. And so I think it was...
Realistic feeling now.
Yeah, it was like one of those things where you could tell, oh my God, I think this is going to happen, and it did.
It did. And you recorded it in Chicago?
I did. Yeah.
How was it to be in Chicago recording it? It's quite close to Canada, right?
Yeah, it was about a 9-hour drive down. It was a great experience. We went in and got a ton of work done over the course of 4 days. Most of the instruments were recorded live off the floor with Steve Albini. And we went in totally prepared and left with like pretty much a completed record. It was the fastest and most productive I think we've ever been in such a short period of time.
The thing with Steve Albini, of course, I wanted to talk about that, is that like you kind of like not like some bands that kind of pick Steve Albini because of stuff he did before and they want to sound like it. Like I think you were one of the bands that didn't flirt with that almost at all, which is really, really good. So how was that experience, and did you know exactly what you wanted with him, or like did he have a lot of input in the record?
He's strictly an engineer. He had little things to say. Like it was nice to sort of get like a nod from him when we did something that he thought was cool. But for the most part, it was us going into a room and using the space and getting the sounds from the room that we were in. Like that room is incredible. It's really conducive to getting a great drum sound, and like the room that Alex's guitar was in was like kind of hollow underneath, and just it was really easy to pull great sounds out of that space. And he's really he knows his gear very, very well. Like he was so fast and so many crazy things that would shut down a studio for an entire day. It was a totally positive experience. It was one of the better recording experiences I've ever had.
It was the first time you recorded live on...
No, it was the first time we'd ever recorded live with Steve Albini.
Okay. It counts.
Yeah.
So, and the songs kind of have a little bit different. I thought, actually, I have to say this, that with Metz too, I thought you were like on top of your game, but I really love this one. So, yeah, it's a really good thing, because sometimes you think like, what can we expect next? Or are they going to kind of beat this, or because it's a natural thing to think, and you totally did it, and you completely blew it out of my mind, and yeah, it's crazy. And there are some songs there that I wanted to talk to you about, because they have a lot more like harmony and melody Sounds like Cellophane. I'm totally addicted to that song.
Yeah.
How did that come up?
Uh,
Also because your guitar sounds to me in some songs more clear.
Yeah, for sure. That's an example, and same with Drain Lake. It's just like a cleaner tone. I think it was just a record where we wanted to expand what it is we were doing musically. So it was, there's quiet and loud, melody, dissonance, all that. So we wanted to just have more variation and kind of spread out what a Metz record could be, So, and I think that's definitely a goal for most musicians, I'm assuming. But for us, we want to do that moving forward. Just keep pushing what it is we think we do further. And I think that was definitely at the core of making that record. It was in the back of our minds, like we weren't being different for the sake of it, but it just, if you have an instinct, follow that instinct, and that's sort of like songs like that is where we ended up, so.
Yeah, because finally I can have a chorus to sing along.
Right.
That's good, I think. And also, like in a sync, the song, sometimes I think people like kind of have a difficulty to immediately like that song, not in the way some other songs in the record, but I immediately loved it because I think the bass in that song is just incredible.
Barely ever in it. The bass is only
No,
in
but
it.
I love it. But maybe because that's why I think it's kind of like on top.
I like that song a lot too. I think that's one of my favorite
I love
ones.
the dynamics and the slow and the up and the down, and the dynamic is incredible, and it's something like you've never done before. What kind of do you think like this album for people who don't listen to noise rock or kind of like are a bit afraid of that kind of sound can be like a really good introduction?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if asking us is really you should just ask someone on the street after you play it to them randomly, because like, does this scare you?
And take them to the show.
Does this scare you, or can I ask you a question? If you thought that the two of us played in a band together, what do you think we would sound like?
It would sound like the song Died in Your Arms Tonight, I Just. Yeah.
You're wrong, go away.
I don't know. I don't know if this record is more accessible than the other records, or
So I think it's just different, and if it works out that way, where it could be an entry point for people, then that would be cool. We'd be happy for that to happen, but it wasn't sort of something that we let seep into our minds before making it. Yeah, we're too stubborn for that.
Yeah. Actually, the record has some parts that kind of sound like apocalyptic in a way. But actually, we're talking about the name of the album, so I think the apocalyptic thing, it explains itself. But would you really like? I would really love that. Like, if you would like soundtrack like a horror movie.
We'd love to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of the horror movies if you could redo the soundtrack, which one would you pick?
could redo this. Oh man, that's a tough one. The classics are all made, like their soundtracks make them, So I think it would have to be something like silly, that you have to kind of rebuild. That was like based on like jump scares. Like, this is stupid.
Insidious.
Yeah, we do the entire quadrilogy.
That would be amazing, actually.
Yeah. Well, we'll get on it immediately.
Yeah. So, and playing live this album, Aiden, to you, thank you for joining us. Your drums, man, you're killing me. Actually, you sound like you're gonna kill everyone because that sounds like a weapon, like you're shooting bullets out of your.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the credit has to go to the songs and playing with these guys, and with whoever is recording it as well. If in a dream situation, it's sort of a collective thought to try and make the drums sound a certain way, just like any other instrument. But yeah, I like to play.
So thank you so much, and I hope the the show. The show is going to be amazing. I can't be in the front row because obviously there's going to be a lot of mosh, which is always epic.
Yeah, you know.
I love to watch.
Yeah, I can't get in there these days either. I'm way at the back.
Yeah, I'm old.